Welcome back to GamecocksOnline.com. I'm joined by head volleyball coach Tom Mendoza after the Gamecocks sweep Ole Miss to start the weekend series. And coach, it was a dominating performance for the offense. We'll start with Riley Whiteside's a crazy stat line with 15 kills on 20 swings. And what was she doing today to find that success?
I really liked her approach, mentally, and that continued over from where she finished off against Missouri last week, and that was part of our message all week. Was hey, our offense was really in a good place, and I thought we had some really good practices all week. So it was great to see. I think she's played like this at times. It's always great when you can string together multiple matches of playing at this level. I mean it's a hard thing to do against good competition, and she's been able to do that for us. So, the setters were putting her in a good place. And I thought even early in that first set, where it was kind of back and forth, our blocking and defense took a little while to get warmed up and get going, but our offense was clicking right away. So, she was certainly a big part of that.
And we'll talk a little bit about Lauren Bowers. Sticking in libero, you have Camilla back, which is great to have both those as an option. What does Lauren bring that kind of gives you a good peace of mind having her at the libero? And what does Camilla, it's always nice to have someone that can serve as tough as she does and still pass coming off the bench and serving as that DS.
Yeah, having that depth we've gone through some different options. We had more options in the beginning of the year, but whether people, Jess was playing beach, and so that group has gotten a little smaller, but they're in a really good place. And I think both defensively and service wise, I think we've just kind of gotten better as the year's gone on, which is good because they're being tested. Like I said, last week against Missouri, a really aggressive serving team, and then Ole Miss was, you see some things on film, and we knew the jump topspin was going to be a challenging serve, but there were a couple other serves that were doing a really good job of putting pressure on our passers, and I thought they responded well. So we're going to make sure that we're ready for those a little more tomorrow. Again, anytime you can see it live instead of film, that's always a bonus. And so, and I thought as the match went on, they made those adjustments well. So, but, Camilla, it's been a tough year from dealing with COVID stuff. We've had Camilla handled it well, and has been, really working to get back to the level of play that she was before, she had to take a break. And we've been trying to get the whole group just to serve more aggressively and hopefully not high risk. It's just high level, and being able to serve some really difficult serves to put pressure on their passers. And Ole Miss is a really good offensive team when they have multiple options and they can spread the ball around and attack the seams. As soon as we can start to hopefully get them out of system, any team gets a lot easier to defend. And that was our goal. I think when our serve was able to do that, I think we could still probably capitalize a little more on the blocking defensive side, which we did at times, but the serve, and especially Camilla's serve, going on the run, a couple runs in the second set were some big difference makers. And, I talked about Bowers being a great teammate last week, and Camilla's another one that we're just incredibly happy. One, that she's just back and around, and we get to, see her on the court, but certainly happy that she was able to be as impactful as she was today.
And some kind of unique stats looking at the box score. Ole Miss, like you said, a really good offense. They hit over 300. But on the flip side of the coin, you guys were able to side out at 71%. I mean, those are some pretty kind of counterintuitive numbers when you look at a box score. What were you guys able to do to kind of stem them from getting those big runs that kind of make a difference in any given set?
Yeah, defensively and blocking wise, we probably scored we just scored enough points in that first set because we were not slowing them down on their service. Thankfully, again, our service offense was able to side out and match their side outs. But we would like to be a little bit harder team to play against and be able to go on some of those runs. Again, a lot of that was coming from the service line, where we were either getting aces or really getting them out of system. But we need to be able to slow teams down when they're in system and get touches on good attackers. And, so we'll try to learn from that. and be a little bit better tomorrow and kind of moving forward. And it's been a long year, but what I love about this team is that we're still getting better. And so anytime that we see an area like that we think should be a bigger strength of ours, it's nice to know that there's still those areas of the game that we think we can get better at this late in the year.
And talk about your comfort level right now with your rotations and your substitutes. Courtney Weber has been making kind of big strides, similar to kind of with Camilla, just trying to come back from, missing almost all of the fall and just getting her strength back. It's such a big part of being a setter is being able to push those balls when you need to the pins. It seems like she's starting to kind of catch her breath a little bit and pick up the pace, and to be able to have her and Holly come in, with Holly being such a big block, do you feel kind of comfortable with where your rotation pattern is right now?
Yeah, and I think after Missouri, after the first match against Missouri last Friday, I liked a lot of the things we were doing. We just weren't quite doing it at a high enough level, and that was, I think Courtney Weber, there were a lot of things that fell into that, but that was kind of one of the conversations we had with Weber was, listen, we just need to be a little bit more consistent, but we have faith in her, and she's a good player, and I liked the way that those pieces were fitting together. We just needed to execute a little higher consistency, and she responded really well the next day on against Missouri, and then she had, I think she had a great week of practice. And again, it's not perfect yet, but she's been playing through some of those things and making the changes as they come up to where, again, her numbers have been steadily rising. And she's been giving us some really good play. But her serve is another area where she's starting to point score at a higher level and get teams out of system at a higher rate. And her defense has taken a huge step from where it was, even in the fall. So, you start putting those things together and you start impacting and helping your team out in different ways. And again, she's been a great teammate, whether, regardless of what her role is. And so she's another one that's just bringing a lot of energy and a lot of excitement to our team. And, the more positivity you can have, the better we're all going to be. So.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, I will not take up any more of your time. I appreciate it. And
thank you, Joe, and congrats to you and Kate and little Coleman. And we miss you guys, but we are excited to see you guys back and get to meet little Coleman.
I appreciate it. Yeah, he's itching to get out to the gym, so we're excited to see you guys in person again. But I appreciate your time, and good luck tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Joe.